Alrighty, folks, welcome back to another episode of Fighting Words. There's two dads talking about the UFC, and we're recapping UFC 313. And, well, your boys did not do a prediction show, but you know what? We just felt like you guys wanted to listen to our takes after, anyways, so that's what we're going to do today. But before we go any further, please like and subscribe. If you haven't already, share it with your friends. Trying to get out there, trying to get exposure. All our new subscribers, shout out. You know who you are. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, joined by my co-host Tyrell. We're about to talk about UFC 313. What's going on, my man?
What's up, man? It's good to be back. Got some
Yeah,
stuff to talk about.
yeah.
Maybe
313. I
some,
mean,
maybe some hot takes.
we've got the champ is here, as they say. The champ is here for new light heavyweight champ Magomed Ankalaev dethroning Alex Pereira, and we're also going to be covering Justin Gaethje beating Rafael Fiziev in the good old lightweight division, and what happens next. So where should we go first? Where should we unpack first? Main card or main fight, or should we talk about the lightweights?
Let's start with the lightweights
Yeah,
because we may end up talking about them a little longer. Let's talk about them first.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Rafael Fiziev, steps up on 10 days' notice, he returned to the UFC after having the long layoff from his injury, torn ACL, the whole shebang. Tough to see a guy like that in his prime go out. I'm a fan of Rafael Fiziev. I was
Me
kind of
too.
hoping that he'd pull a surprise and get the win off of Justin, but it's tough to beat a guy that's beaten you pretty handily the first time. And well, it was more of the same. No disrespect to Fiziev. I think he looked great out there. I really do. I think he should be considered still at the top. But his path through Justin Gaethje that's a hard road for most people. Um, Unfortunate too in this fight. I was just kind of thinking about it. Is that Dan Hooker Justin Gaethje fight's never going to happen again, and we're never going to see the all violence squad and
Probably
that is
not.
a disappointment. But I mean, it was a great fight. Obviously, kind of helped drive the card forward. That where it was kind of missing some excitement on. But I want to know your opinion. Where does Justin Gaethje go now with the win and with all these other contenders at the top and his recent loss to Max Holloway in the BMF fight? Where do we put him now? I mean, the aged Dustin Poirier fight doesn't look that great. I mean, not that Dustin Poirier is bad, but Dustin Poirier got to fight for a title before he did. I don't
Hey,
know.
time is everything, and
Hmm.
Justin Gaethje, um, he kind of fumbled, man. When he decided to take that Max Holloway fight, he messed himself up. He should have just waited for his title shot. He also got asked to take a title shot, but it was too short notice for him.
Hmm.
So he didn't take it. So he's kind of, shot himself in the foot in that regard. And I think he's done it again because
Hmm.
I think if he would have fought Dan Hooker and it was a spectacular fight and he finished Dan, he gets the title shot because it'd been
Yeah,
fun.
easy.
Rafael Fiziev for him is a tougher matchup. So stylistically, he can't really get him out of there, but he can whoop on him. He can beat on him, but he can't get him out of there. Whereas Dan and him were through hands. And
Hmm.
Justin, you throwing this wild hands with Justin, he's probably going to finish you most likely. It'd have been a
Unless
fun
you're
fight.
Max Holloway.
Which that's my next point. I was going to say, like, how good is Max Holloway that he
Yeah,
destroyed Justin Gaethje like that? Like, the levels of, like, think about that. He goes to
it's
55
insane.
and beats the brakes off of him, and Dustin Poirier didn't beat the brakes off him like that. No, nobody has really, right? And it's like, how good is this guy at 55?
Hmm.
Which leads into my next point. Justin Gaethje is probably third in line. I think fourth. Whoa, he may be fourth. If we're no, I'll give him third. I'll give him third.
Yeah,
I think Armin's kind of limited himself for a
yeah.
while.
He needs to
But you
have
got
another fight.
Charles, you
Yeah.
got Ilya, and you got Max to me. Those three should have the first say at
Hmm.
55 over him. Max beat him directly. Charles beat him. Charles number one contender. And Ilya is the 45 champ moving up. So to me, those three guys have first say. I think Justin Gaethje would be good to have another fight. If they rebook Dan Hooker, if he fights DP. Um,
I
but
don't think that's going to be likely, though. I mean, from what Justin said, for both of our families, I don't want to fight again. Which I
yeah,
mean,
they
that's
like each
pretty
other.
cool.
He said it to Faceve too. You see that? He said it to
Yeah,
Faceve.
yeah.
He
Which
said
I
unless
which
it's
I
for the
like. I
belt.
mean, that's Justin being Justin. I mean, the guy's a true homie. We respect Justin on the pod.
Let me on him a little bit. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
a
saying?
little
I'm not gonna say the
censored,
word. I'm gonna
self-censor.
admit the
Yeah,
word.
yeah. I had to bleep
Uh,
you out last time, man.
I told you sometimes I get a little fiery, and I was about to right here, but I said I'll on him.
Yeah,
Justin Gaethje, how dare you come out and try to downplay Max whooping you by saying it was an exhibition fight? No. You don't get to do that to me. No. You don't get to do that. No, you don't. Now you don't.
No,
He
no.
has been he is a long reigning champion, right? He is a Hall of Fame champion. He came up to your division and whooped on you. Don't downplay it like it's just a little exhibition for a belt that doesn't matter. You fought for it.
Hey,
You asked for that.
you signed on the dotted line. You prepared those 6 weeks, and you showed up to go knock somebody out. And guess what? You got the brakes beat off of you. I'm
Face
sorry.
down, butt up, and then picture
Yeah,
behind the end right now.
this
Look at you.
this doesn't look like an exhibition to me, Justin. So I think you need to excuses. He didn't really come out with any excuses in that fight originally, but like
But now he's
you can
trying to
tell
play it
that
like
one
that.
is still playing in his head a little bit.
His face slid across the canvas.
Yeah,
You see
he
that? You see the
literally
other
looked like
angle?
he died. He
You
literally
see
looked
the
like he
other?
died.
You see the new
No,
angle they released?
uh-uh.
Oh, I gotta send it to you. I gotta
Yeah,
send it to you.
please do.
Oh my, it's bad. It's worse.
Uh,
It's worse than the one we saw on TV.
well, it looks like he died on in the octagon. Like when they were even trying to recover him, it looked like he was dead. Like I feel bad for him. Like I do. But like we also have to realize like it's not an exhibition match ever in the UFC, and this was for a lot of money. And like yeah, sure, you could consider the BMF to be a little gimmicky at times, but like it's not that Max wasn't a 155 contender and like couldn't step up and do that. So like you were going for it. And I'm sorry that you lost, and I'm sorry that this put you in a tough spot for the end of your career. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't think he has the resume to even be considered fighting for a title again. I mean, you say it all the time here, and it's a cliche in sports, but the best ability is availability. And Justin has repeatedly, and I'm not even going to say like that he's done it like once or twice late in his career, and he's done it throughout his career.
For
The
sure.
interim title belt is the perfect example of this between him and Tony Ferguson. Like I understand that like there was COVID and all that stuff, we didn't really know where we were going to go, but in hindsight, being 2020, is that you taking that fight on it honestly maybe end up screwing you up a little bit more too. Like there's just a lot of timelines that we're dealing with Justin Gaethje that I feel like he always gets wrong. I respect him as a fighter, I do, but I think he's one of the most unintelligently booked fighters in this
Yeah.
division. And
100%.
and I'd say that to his face, and he'd probably punch me or kick me in the legs, whatever. But like I would say that to his face is that you've done a horrible job at managing your career late in the game. And he's prolonged it too because he said he wanted to get in and out, and the man's still here
Yep.
and he's broken what he said he was going to do. Now I get there's still a chance for him to get to the belt, like whatever, but like yeah, I mean Charles and Ilya are first in line ahead of him, and if you want to consider Max, since he's still done what he's done at lightweight, like there's still a consideration that Max is ahead of him. So like you start looking at other lightweights, you're like, okay, like he could fight like a Matouche, or he could fight like a whoever you want to
That's
throw him in with.
it's
But
got to
like
be DP or Hooker, man. It's got to be
yeah,
DP or Hooker or
yeah,
Michael Chandler or what's his name, the winner. Like that's his realistic fights next because
Hattie, yeah,
unless he wants to fight Armin, which is not
yeah,
going to go well. He's not going to
no,
beat Armin Sarukian.
no,
He can't beat him.
it's the
Um,
wrestling.
he can't
It's
beat
the
Charles
wrestling.
either.
Mm-mm.
I don't think he beat Charles.
No, I think that Justin, and at least Dustin Poirier has had the career exit that we're hopefully going to see that he will have.
DP
Yeah,
Justin.
yeah.
DP Justin for me. Like I don't think I know he beat DP last time, but DP's better than Justin to me. I'm
Well,
sorry.
if you want to talk about the first fight, like DP showed that he was just levels above him too. But
He got caught with a head kick that he wasn't expecting to get around his
Mhm.
guard.
Yeah,
His shell of a guard, I would say.
yeah,
He didn't get the hand up, but it happens.
yeah. All that to say is I don't really know what's next for Justin. I don't know what you do with him other than throw him back to Dan and like hopefully like fireworks can happen so he can get a title shot. I mean, you don't give him Beneil, you don't give him any of these other guys who are just not
You
who
don't
are
give him
certainly not
Max.
fine. Yeah, no, you don't give him Max again. You don't run that back because I just don't feel like the result would be any different. It'd be fun to watch him get just completely canvassed again, but like I don't see how that result plays any differently. Those styles are completely complementary of each other where Max would it just comes out on top every time.
Yeah. Random, before we move on to the
Yeah.
main event. I just want to say this before we move on, because we're talking about lightweights. Mauricio Rufy,
Hmm.
that,
Guy's a
that that's
problem.
a scary person. I don't know who's gonna get that guy next, but God bless you.
Yeah,
Because
thoughts and prayers. That's a
it's
ranked
going to
opponent
be
next too.
it's
That's
going to be
not.
scary. It's going to be scary for who has to see that guy. That was insane.
I feel
Bobby,
like Edson
whoa,
Barboza. Like we just watched Edson Barboza's knockout reel like come back to life. Like I would even say it's almost more
that was
emphatic.
disgusting.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
Yeah. So good
Yeah.
luck,
So good luck.
Godspeed. Any of those
Good luck.
fighters that are coming out of the Fighting Nerds camp right now, just be ready that you're probably
Monsters.
going to lose. Yeah.
Monsters. Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see who he fights next, because it's going to be a ranked guy. Because I think King Green was a ranked guy, if I'm not
Yep. Yep.
remembering correctly,
He
and
was.
also King, hang him up, my
It's
friend.
time to hang it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said it's not over, but it's over, my
But
friend.
it should be though, man. They're only
Mhm.
going to give you names like that because you are kind of a bigger name at the bottom of the division. You're going to fight monsters. Stop.
Mhm.
Stop. Yeah.
And he's had a nice like little resurgence in popularity. I mean, he like died off
And
after he
this.
lost to yeah,
He's made some
that's
good
that
money
money.
for himself.
Hmm.
I like King Green, man. I'm gonna
Yeah,
respect you and call you King instead of
yeah,
Bobby. I
yeah,
respect you.
yeah. But with that being said, talking about styles, talking about fights, talking about a snoozer of a fight between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. I wasn't. I'm just
Takes
gonna
two to
say this.
tango.
Yeah, it does. No, I here's what I'm gonna say about these two things. Magomed style, whether you like it or hate it, he has always shown you who he is. He has been able to beat up some of the guys that are pretty low in the division and get a nice little like knockout submission sort of streak that he's had. And then the guys that have been more skilled up at the top, he hasn't. He's won decisions. We're not surprised by that. Like at least I wasn't. I was not going in this fight expecting Uncle Ive's going to go in there and submit him, or Uncle Ive's going to go in there and like make it this like sexy striking bout, because that would be dumb. Every other fighter that's done that has been on the canvas from Alex or just
Yep.
been torn apart. So he goes and does clinch work. He goes and tries to take takedowns. And also, Alex decides, I'm going to stay at range the entire fight and not make this interesting at all. And just because you're 0 for 12 on takedowns doesn't mean that necessarily those takedown shots were good or necessarily like ones that he was going to set up for other things. And so, yeah, congrats. You stuffed all of his takedowns from a guy who you thought was going to take you down pretty easily, but we know that
Yeah.
Magomed is not the Dagestani wrestler. He's just
He
not that.
can
He doesn't come from that
he can
camp. He might look
strike.
like him. Yeah, he can strike, and he's
He can
very
strike.
good at being technical. But there's no flair. There's no spice. It's just he is good at what he is. So congrats to Magomed Ankalaev for getting the win. Do I think that we saw the best version of Alex Pereira that night? No. Do I have a controversial take that we are now going to start seeing Pereira might start following the same thing that Izzy's doing. And I'm not saying that Pereira, is going to burn out as maybe as fiercely, but I think that,
He's old though.
yeah, he's old. His body's been through a ton. I mean, how many fights has this man been through? And it's
Weight
the same thing
cuts
with
to
Izzy.
85. Insane weight cuts to 85, man. Even 205 seemed hard for him. So,
Hmm. My
yeah, I agree,
opinion,
man.
my opinion, move up. You don't fight John Jones. You don't fight any of these other guys. Just move up, have a fun fight, and make that money and leave. Because I don't think he deserves the rematch, and I know that that might sound harsh, but
He
like,
doesn't, but he'll get it. He'll get it.
yeah, he'll probably get it, and he'll probably end up winning. Like that's probably how those things go. I'm a 51-49 pick right now. Like
Okay,
that's
okay,
where I'm
okay,
at. It's not like I'm like, yeah, he's gonna definitely win. But like if I think that how the MMA gods work, which I don't really have a good prediction of, but if I want to see my life shattered before my eyes, is that he would win, and I don't really want that. And it's not that, yeah, it's not a disrespect to Chama, but it's more so that there's a shifting that always has to happen in the UFC, and it's another thing that I feel like that's inevitable for Alex, and I respect him as a fighter. I think he's one of the most fun champions we've had at any
yeah.
division for a long time, and he's been different. He's been fun, but like, yeah, when I saw this fight booked, I said, cool, let's just brace ourselves for the crappy outcome. But then let's also accept the fact that, hey, that's okay. Like that's part of UFC now. Like we rotate through champs, we rotate through stars. Like that's part of it. So I want to hear what you have to say about this. I'm
Yeah.
interested to see your take on it.
I think he didn't show up that night because Magomed Ankalaev just he game plan better, man. And
Hmm.
like that forward pressure he put on him with his actual speed and striking ability, it was a lot for Alex. He couldn't really get comfortable. And
Hmm.
let's not forget, Alex threw a lot of those leg kicks. It didn't even matter.
No.
Like And he threw more leg kicks than punches to the. I think he landed 12 punches to the head in 5 rounds,
Hmm.
if I'm not mistaken. It was something low.
It's
And
crazy.
I think Ankalaev just did such a good job of mixing it up because, like you were saying, the takedowns. I don't think they were necessarily to get him to the ground, more so to get him against the cage and just muddy
Hmm.
it up a little bit more and make him work and put his weight on him. And I think Alex's age in this fight is not. It was an issue, but could I see it becoming an issue once you start losing the mentality of like I lost, like and once again. Saved by the Bell. When Izzy fought him that first time, Saved by the Bell. When Uncle Live cracked him in the last like 10 seconds, and he would if that follow up punch would have hit him clean, I don't know if he went to sleep. So
Yeah.
to hear you say he should go up to heavyweight, I'm like, if one of those big boys put a punch on him, like I don't know if he could take that to the face, man. If he get hit by like even a Curtis Blades, somebody like that, Derek Lewis hitting, bro, tied to
But
Avasa hitting, like
but
it's
fun fight
he
to watch. I mean, like
watch
that's
him
where
go
we're
to
at with
sleep.
Alex. Well, I'm not saying like that I would want to see him get murdered, but I'm just saying like, hey, fun fight to be anticipating. Like
Yeah,
I think he's in that stage of his career. I don't think he's Chama anymore. I think he's just Alex. Like,
and
and that's no
and
disrespect.
Yeah, and then for Ankalaev, I feel like we kind of give the Russian fighters a lot of crap on this show, and it's
We
not,
do.
we do for whatever reason, right? For whatever reason,
Allegedly.
for whatever reason, and but they're really talented, man, and he's been talented. We've seen this.
Yeah.
I said off camera before we got on that Ankalaev could have been the champion when he fought Jan Bohovic. If he would have won that fight, he maybe still be champion defending it right now because the guy's good, man. And I like it for the division because now we got more matchups, right?
Hmm.
We have more matchups. And an element of Chama that we didn't get, of Pajeda we didn't get, is the talking aspect. Uncle Live can talk a little bit, right? Like
He can chirp.
he, yeah, he can talk a little bit. And like he was on social media telling Yuri Prohaska he's a bum and he needs to go get some wins. I love it. Like he's like, you're a bum. Go get some wins. Like for real. He's like, you're a fraud. You're a fraud. Go get some wins because he asked for the rematch for Alex. I think Jamal Hill and Uncle Live's fun. I think you got a whole list of people that Uncle Live could fight, and those guys get a new shot.
Hmm.
Even seeing Khalil Roundtree versus like will be fun. Like
Yeah.
there's so many
There's
fights, and
yeah.
it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be
Hmm.
mixed up, and I think I guess in that way I can concede if Alex goes up for one final fight at heavyweight before he leaves. I think that's great. But yeah, man, I think Uncle Live's about to have his belt for a little bit, man, or maybe not. But he's talented, so I don't want
Yeah.
to sleep on him. He's pretty
No,
good.
he's very talented. I mean, I'd love to see like a good champ at light heavyweight. I mean, I think we've seen Alex do a great job. I would love to see if he puts together some consistent wins, that would be awesome. Because light heavyweight really just deserves more than what it's had for the past couple of years. It's been rough, and we've
Yep.
seen the kind of the lifeblood come back to it. I'd love to see some other guys come back up, like I would love to see Dominic Reyes
I was
make
gonna
a
say that.
potential push.
Yeah,
Yeah, like the kid's still
yeah,
young enough to where he can make a return as long. I mean, you can't ever heal a chin, but like if he can learn how to not get hit as much as he has been. I mean, I even crazy statement here, but I even think Jan Blachowicz, if he can put together 2 more wins, I mean, like there's a chance. I'm not saying there's a big chance at being in his 40s, but there's a chance we could see that rematch happen. Do I think
yeah.
it'll be fun to watch? No, but
Well,
here we are.
Uncle Live called for Jamal.
Which is interesting because doesn't he have a fight booked with Khalil?
Yeah,
Yeah, and he's
maybe he's
coming
like,
off a loss.
he's like, maybe I'll take him. I think it's the name, right? You want to
Hmm.
fight somebody with a name, and I think he really does not like Yuri Prohaska. It's very apparent
It
for
feels
whatever
like some
reason.
European hatred. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be honest though, man. Well, maybe, but I'm gonna say I think it's because he sees what I see. He is kind of a fraud, man. He's not that good, man. He's not. I'm sorry. He's a wild man. He's funny. He's hilarious, but like he is skilled too. Don't get me wrong, he's skilled, but like he's kind of sloppy. He can be sloppy too. He can get caught and go to sleep, and I think
Hmm.
that's why like yeah. What do people love him for? What's the fight? Dominic Reyes, right? The spinning elbow. It's like when Dominic Reyes plunged into like 6, 7 months in a row. No, five probably, 4 or 5. So it's like who have you beat? And you beat old Glover Teixeira. Like I'm not gonna go on my soapbox right now, but it's like he kind of is like a fraud.
I mean, he slept Jamal, so there's that. So
Jamal was fat. Jamal was fat. He's built
hey,
like a fridge.
oh,
He's
if
built
you're
like
gonna
a
say
fridge
that
in that
though, then
fight.
like you can go revisionist history all the day long. I will not stand this Yuri slander. I will
He's
stand
not
by
that
my
good.
boy. Yeah,
He's not that good.
exactly. Yeah, and you're just gonna say that to get under my skin.
It's true
So
though. I mean, the facts show like, he's
he
not
was
that
champ,
good.
man. Like you got to give him credit where credit's due.
Nah, man.
I'm not gonna stand for this Yuri slander, and I
We'll
hope
talk
there's
about
some
it
other
off pod.
people.
Wrap this pod up, and
Yeah.
I'll slander your boy off camera because he's trash, man. He's not good. He
Well,
fakes like he's a samurai. Like, come on, bro. Like, pack this stuff up, bro.
yeah, that is the one thing where I'm like, brother, there's no samurais anymore. It's cool, but stop. It's part of the brand though. I'll give him that. So, anyways, I can't do too much more of listening to this guy yammer on about Yuri, but let us know what you think in the comments about the lightweight division, where Justin Gaethje kind of lands next. What do we do with Rafael Fiziev? I mean, where does he go next in the division? And then also let us know what's next for Alex and Magomed. What do you guys think? Obviously, love to know what you guys think about our thoughts on the podcast. Love to see the comment interaction as always. And we'll catch you guys next time. Catch you later.